Wait, this is 2022. I didn't even realise we had a landline. Hello? No, I'm not interested in doing a horror movie trivia night. I've got a show to run. Thank you, no more calls. Bye. In today's episode of Home Media Minefield, I'm going to be looking at the Lionsgate Blu-ray release of the Scream Trilogy. Coming up. I'll be right back. Yeah, I thought I'd jinx myself for a minute there. Hello, this is Keith and welcome to Home Media Minefield, helping you with information to navigate the complexities of home cinema and home media entertainment. And with the fifth film in the Scream franchise at the cinema this week, I thought I'd look at the Blu-ray release of the Scream Trilogy that was kindly gifted to me by filmmaker and friend of the channel Mike Tack last year in the mystery unboxings. So thank you again for that. Now you may say, hold on, didn't you say it's the fifth film in the franchise and you're only reviewing the trilogy? So yes, we will get into that. I told you, can you please stop calling this number? Stick to the mobile. So first with some release information. The Scream films have been released on DVD and Blu-ray a number of times over the years. The trilogy covers the films that were released theatrically between 1996 and 2000. And I believe this Lionsgate box set was actually released in 2011, just prior to the fourth film of the franchise coming out. Now most territories that you buy this in, with one or two exceptions, it's hard to buy the collection as a 4-film set. And the reason for that is simply to do with distribution rights. Depending on the region you're in, either Paramount or Lionsgate have the home media rights for Screams 1 to 3, which were obviously Dimension Miramax films. The rights to Scream 4 for home media, though, currently sit with Anchor Bay. So often you have to buy the Anchor Bay release separately if you want to get the entire collection. That is until, of course, it all gets re-released sometime later this year when Scream 5 comes out on physical media. Now, the only film out of the series so far to have been released on 4K UHD is the original Scream, which came out in 2021 for its 25th anniversary. But I have no doubt that the sequels will follow when the new film gets released. There's been a number of different packaging and types of artwork available for these releases over the years. The one that I have here features the first 3 films in individual keep cases housed in an outer shell marked the Scream Trilogy. Now onto the picture quality, and these Blu-ray transfers are pretty good. They're much better than the old DVD ones were for sure. And the imagery of these films generally looks very good. There is a little bit of digital distortion in some of the wide shots at night time that could perhaps be cleaned up. But overall, the picture is clear and the transfer is good, and it retains its original 2:35:1 aspect ratio for all 3 films. Now, because these films were released for home media all around the same time, there is a fairly consistent look in terms of the video transfer that they've done from the original film elements. Obviously, I'm sure the 4K of the original Scream will look superb. But for now, I'm quite happy with this Blu-ray set. Onto the audio, and all 3 films here have a DTS 5.1 audio mix. And I have to say, having just revisited these for this review and in preparation for the new film, I found the audio to be of a very good quality and standard here. One thing that was noticeable on my 5.1 system is there's some really good separation of the channels here, particularly as this film deals with sources of phone calls, soundtracks mirroring films that are being shown within the film, etc. It all works very nicely and creates that really tight atmosphere. Apparently even the 4K UHD uses this same DTS 5.1 track on it and doesn't have an upgrade to DTS X or Dolby Atmos. Now onto the special features, and this is where it does indeed become a bit of a minefield, because I remember when I originally owned this on DVD back in the early 2000s, the complete collection came with a bonus 4th disc that had a range of special features on it, including a documentary called Behind the Scream. Now unfortunately the material that was on this 4th disc has not been ported over onto these Blu-rays, although all of the other special features have been carried across. So on the first film you get an audio commentary with director Wes Craven and screenwriter Kevin Williamson. This commentary talks quite a lot about the development and backstory of the script and the characters and the plot tropes, etc. It is quite in-depth and definitely a worthwhile listen. Then you get a couple of short production featurettes which only total about 10 minutes altogether. The production featurette is a typical sort of EPK type promo of the film, and then you get a behind the scenes on the Scream set where Wes Craven is interviewed, and a lot of the behind the scenes footage focuses on the opening scene of the film featuring Drew Barrymore. You then get 5 minutes of Q&A with the cast and crew, split into 2 sections. The first section being what is your favourite scary movie, which is asked to most of the cast members, and the second part, why are people so fascinated by horror, which a lot of the behind the scenes crew answer. Beyond that you get a couple of theatrical trailers and the TV spots. Now both Screams 2 and 3 have an audio commentary with director Wes Craven, producer Marianne Maddalena and editor Patrick Lussier. And I think that these 2 commentaries were possibly recorded back to back in preparation for the home media release. Now these ones concentrate less on the backstory as the Williamson commentary did, and more on the actual nuts and bolts of the filming of this, with many stories told from the set and the production history. Again though, quite worthwhile in-depth commentaries if that's your thing. 2 and 3 also offer deleted scenes which you can watch with or without audio commentary, and there's some extra character moments here with film buffs, etc., talking about movie tropes. Quite fun stuff, but not necessary for the overall story. Again, on both 2 and 3 you get outtakes, which shows the cast and crew having fun on set, laughing at the ridiculousness of some of the situations. Some short and very basic behind the scenes featurettes on both. An alternate ending on Scream 3, which again you can watch with or without commentary. It's explained here that much of this is done for a reshoot to up the action and suspense more in the finale. And we also get music videos that accompany both part 2 and 3, and again theatrical trailers and TV spots. Now unfortunately there is no feature-length documentary on the making of these films included. What has happened here is, as with many horror films, there have been independent feature-length documentaries made that really delve into the production history of this franchise. Now in the US there is a 5-film set available which includes the Scream trilogy plus 2 of these independent feature-length documentaries, Still Screaming and Scream the Inside Story, both of which were produced in 2011. Now the 4K UHD does also include a featurette a bloody legacy that looks at the history of Scream. But unfortunately this is only 8 minutes long, so I can't imagine that it goes into great depth about anything. And obviously this is not even to mention Scream 4, which is a separate release altogether from Anchor Bay, which has its own special features. So there you go, as my channel suggests, a bit of a minefield, but you can actually pick this trilogy up for quite a reasonable cost online nowadays. I'll put some links in the show notes below to this and some of the other releases around the Scream franchise. If you happen to use my links, it does actually help my channel to get recognised at no additional cost for you. If you want to hear me talk more about the actual Scream films and the rest of the franchise in more detail, then please do join us later this week, where we'll be having a live stream, or maybe a live scream, called Remembering to Scream on this channel. So please tune in for that. If you like this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and if you hit that bell icon, you'll get notified about new videos, unboxings, live streams, etc. that come out. And obviously if you've got any questions about this, then please do also put that down in the comments below and I will try and help you. But in the meantime, I thank you for your time today and I will speak to you at the next Home Media Minefield. Bye for now and don't answer that phone.